Long ago, there was a small snowy island. It was an important part of the country, and about 200 soldiers were posted there to protect it. The enemy army often tried to take control of the island. Major Daniel and Captain Michael Jackson were in charge. Both were brave and loyal to their homeland. The weather was harsh. Snow fell all year, and the soldiers often struggled with cold and sickness. Still, they stayed strong and continued to guard the island. One morning, Captain Michael walked into Major Daniel's office.
Sir.
He saluted. Major Daniel nodded.
What happened, Michael?
Michael hesitated.
Sir, our medicine stock is almost finished. We need to send a message to headquarters, but...
Daniel narrowed his eyes.
But?
Michael hesitated.
Sir, Coco, our pigeon, is sick. He has a fever. He can't fly in this heavy snow.
Any other pigeon?
Michael sighed.
Sir, Mommy. And you know her.
Daniel sighed.
I don't know why. She isn't serious.
Sir, I think her training isn't good.
The captain said. Major Daniel shook his head.
No. Her trainer, Mr. Jonathan, is very skilled. He trained her well. But she isn't interested in messages. She just wants to enjoy and make friends.
Daniel paused, then said.
Still, send her.
Captain Michael nodded and left. Captain Michael wrote the message and went to the pigeon room. Momi was sitting in her cage. He gently picked her up and tied the message to her leg.
Please, Momi. Our soldiers need medicine. Coco is sick. Only you can help us.
Momi looked at him quietly. Michael walked outside and released her into the air. He watched her fly away and sighed.
I hope you understand.
3 days passed. Major Daniel visited the small hospital inside the camp. Soldiers were lying in pain.
Sir, we need medicine.
One soldier said weakly.
Sir, we didn't get any medicine. Our wounds are getting worse.
Another added. Michael stood beside Daniel. Daniel looked at him.
The medicine hasn't arrived yet?
Michael shook his head.
Sir, I think Momi didn't deliver the message.
Daniel said angrily.
Go at once. Find her and bring her back. I am sure she is on the way. She just wants to enjoy talking and making friends.
Michael nodded and rushed out with some soldiers. The soldiers pushed through deep snow, struggling to move. Suddenly, one soldier shouted,
Sir! Look!
Michael raised his binoculars and saw Momi sitting on a tree branch with other pigeons. The pendant of her name was tied to her neck.
She's still there.
he said angrily.
Catch her!
Momi saw them and tried to fly away. But the soldiers threw a net and caught her. They brought her back to the camp. Michael locked her in the cage. One soldier, John, went to Major Daniel.
Sir, she has been caught.
Major Daniel quickly came to the pigeon room angrily.
You couldn't do your job properly. We never wanted to send you. But Coco was sick. It was a big mistake sending you.
He shouted. Captain Michael and John stood silent. Then Major Daniel sighed.
What can we do? It's just a pigeon.
He turned to Michael.
How is Coco now?
Michael replied.
Sir, he is fine now.
Major Daniel nodded.
Good. Send him.
After that, he walked back to his office. A few weeks later, Michael rushed into the office.
Sir,
He saluted.
the enemy army is coming towards the island.
Major Daniel stood up quickly.
What? Tell me, what is our situation?
Sir, we need food and weapons, or we can't defend the island.
Michael said. Daniel thought for a moment.
Send Coco immediately.
Michael hesitated.
Sir, he's already at headquarters.
Major Daniel frowned.
What should we do now?
Michael hesitated.
If we send Momi, I don't think it will help.
Major Daniel shook his head.
But we have no choice. Prepare the message. We have to send Momi.
Michael nodded and left quickly. Soon, the message was prepared. Major Daniel came into the pigeon room with Captain Michael. The major tied the message to Momi's leg and sighed. He looked into her eyes.
Momi, listen to me carefully. You always enjoyed flying. I know you are not interested in messages. But now our homeland is in danger. Our 200 soldiers need food and weapons. Without them, they will die. Or the enemy will kill them. Our lives are in your wings.
He paused.
Only you can save our homeland. I know the snowstorm will be hard. And you will struggle. But only you can deliver this message. Please.
Momi looked at him quietly, as if she understood everything. After that, Major Daniel took her out of the camp and released her into the air. She flew up as snow fell on her wings. Michael said,
Sir, do you think Momi will do it?
Daniel sighed.
I don't know, but we had no other way.
Michael also sighed. The next morning, Captain Michael stepped outside the camp. Suddenly, he heard the loud sound of an aircraft. He stopped and looked around.
Sir!
He called. Major Daniel came out quickly.
Did you hear that?
Michael said. Daniel nodded.
Yes. I did.
They both walked forward through the snow. After a few steps, Michael stopped. His eyes widened.
Sir, look!
Boxes of food and weapons were lying on the snow. Daniel looked at them in surprise. Michael smiled with relief.
This means
Daniel smiled softly.
Mommy did it.
Soon, the enemy attacked. Major Daniel and Captain Michael led their soldiers bravely. With the help of the supplies, they fought hard. Backup forces also arrived. Finally, they defeated the enemy. But many soldiers were lost. Daniel stood silently, looking at the battlefield. Michael stood beside him in silence. Later, Major Daniel went to headquarters. General Arnold praised him.
Well done, Major.
Major Daniel said softly.
Sir, I want to meet Mommy.
The general nodded and took him to the pigeon room. Major Daniel entered and froze.
Mommy.
Her wings were gone. He rushed to her. Tears filled his eyes. The general said sadly.
When she arrived, she was badly injured. Her wings were bleeding. The doctors had to cut them to save her life.
Major Daniel whispered.
Mommy, you lost your wings for us.
He saluted her.
You saved our homeland.
Tears flowed from Momi's eyes, as if she was saying,
I was careless, but I love my homeland too much, sir.